All right, all right. August 21st, everybody, okay? Hope you're all doing well. I know we've had some rain in all our markets. Some people a lot, and some people, I think they thought it was going to be way worse than it actually was. So that's good. That's always a good sign when you don't get 3 inches of rain in 24 hours. Right, that can really screw stuff up in the desert. All right, we love rain, but that's just a little too much too fast. All right, today we are very fortunate from our Las Vegas market, the St. Rose office. We are lucky to have Mr. Tim Dunn. Tim, if you could hit *6 on your phone, that would be great. You unmute yourself.
Okay.
There he is. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Tim, so tell us a little about yourself, how long you've been doing this good deal, all that stuff.
I've been in the business 6.5 years now. As you and I joke together, we'll cut that in half due to surgeries and personal things going on, all kinds of craziness that was in my life, but is now out, gratefully.
Right.
And just prior to real estate, I was an executive with the skincare company in Johnson & Johnson for almost 17 years, managed 5.5 states of skincare retail. And I was also the national point for Nordstrom, Sephora, and Ulta stores. So that kept me very busy. And gratefully, I was able to take that business acumen into real estate. And then prior to that, I was an entertainer on the Las Vegas Strip. So it's kind of all over the map, but very personable.
Right. Okay. All right, cool. So, and give us an idea, because I know you're like really cranking right now. How are things going for you right now?
Things are going very well. I'm I'm very, very grateful. I know you like numbers, Rick. So right now I am currently at a 305% increase overall from last year at this time, and a 216% increase total over last year. My nice. Original goal was a 25% increase overall from last year.
This is better.
So yeah, this is considerably better. I have another push goal for an additional 10 properties through the end of this year, and on an average rate of sale that would give me a 387% increase over LY total.
Nice.
Right now in sales volume, I'm at a 281% over LY at this time, and 196% over LY total.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. You and the thing is that you're not afraid to be proactive. You get out there, you mix it up, you make things happen. So give me a little idea of how you do your business, please.
Well, for me, as you know, I'm a very personable person, individual. So
right.
I like to get in front of people. So when I first started in the industry, I made a good chunk of my business in open houses, though I had a very large sphere of people here. In my previous position, I was never home. So I had a sphere, but I didn't have a sphere. So
right.
to get in front of people who were actively looking for real estate, I conducted a lot of open houses, and that really springboarded my business. And now I really focus on my sphere, some open houses, and a lot of just listed, just sold circle prospecting. That's primarily what I do to get people, moving and referring me business, and the majority of my business is referral business.
That's cool. Yeah, and it took you a while. So what? Because now, and I think this would be good for everybody to hear. Were you a little reluctant at first? Because at first you were the open house guy. Like you went to open houses. Your first chain of events started from open houses, and then it's taken you a little while, and you've really branched out into working with your sphere a lot more, right?
Yes, I also built up that sphere. I had to rebuild it, though I knew people. They knew me as a former performer, but also, the guy to go for what's wrong with my face. And as opposed to, hey, I need to buy a house, or hey, I need to sell a house. So I had to build that confidence and trust in them. And so conducting open houses was a way for me to build my sphere and build my sphere with people who are really interested in real estate, and was I reluctant? Oh, no, Rick, not at all. Yes, I was a little reluctant. I like to be very confident in what I'm doing and be able to stand on solid ground. And, coming into something new like this, I really wasn't. However, coming from a retail environment, I was able to take an open house and turn that into, as we call it, my own retail store, and work it that way. So that's really what I did. I started really just honing in on the open houses, especially the first year or two, and started getting more referrals and building the business that way.
Right. Yeah. Tell them about your first major open house you did and how that turned into several transactions. I think for some of the new people, that'd be great to hear.
Oh, I know you really like this story.
This is a good story because it's a good story.
Yeah. Right off the bat, actually, I got into a networking group, and I had a couple of my first two sales were from that networking group. So if you're just starting out or need to increase your sphere, a networking group is really a great way to do it. Just as long as you're the only realtor in the group.
Right.
But when I really started focusing on strengthening my business and open houses that first year, it was around the middle of the first year, because I think we say on an average, once you start, it takes about 3 months to ramp up. And I had an open house in a guard-gated community, and I printed out flyers for them to navigate people, for directions for people to come in through the guard gate, and getting those guards to hand them out, it can be rather taxing. So I brought them a bunch of donuts and tried to bribe them.
Yeah.
And they were happy to do it.
Right.
I had someone else with me, gratefully, because it was a large property, and had people coming in droves. We were literally doing groups of tours with the property. And after we finished, 2 days later, I received a call. Someone that had toured the property wanted to see it again. And I remembered them very well because they were very unassuming in appearance. And, one thing I have learned over the years, especially in the entertainment industry and working with J&J, is that you never really know who you're talking to. And so it was those people. They were very assuming and kind of like mom and pa kettle. And so we went and we conducted the tour, and they really didn't have much to say again second time. And I opened the door to let them out, and they had a limited edition Mercedes-Benz sports car. Only I think 100 were made. And it was rather striking. So when they left, I closed up the house, and I was walking out, and I received a phone call, and, hey, we live around the corner. We'd like to place the cash offer on the deal and get it going, and we'd like you to sell our house. And from that one open house, I had another buyer in that same community, and then the seller, there was a person next door, the neighbor, liked the way I was conducting my business and saw how I was protecting my clients. And so he hired me to sell his house. And then the first people who I had mentioned who bought the house, they were in their 70s, and they decided to get married. They weren't married, and they asked me to be their best man. So that was wonderful. And we're still great friends.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. So, and the great thing everybody should hear is it wasn't even your listing. You were holding somebody else's listing, and you got 2 listings in there. Plus, it was a pretty incredible open house.
I had 2 listings and 2 buyers. just from that one open house.
Right. That's incredible. Yeah. Awesome. Well, good stuff. And, and then, so then that kind of got you started, and, you tried a little of everything, and then you had your distractions, operations and so forth. But then the last 2 years now, so last year you had to get back into gear because you almost had to recreate the wheel again. And then this year, it's where it seems like all your momentum and all the work you do is really paying off. Even in a market where a lot of people are complaining, you seem to be doing incredibly well.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for that. And for those who are listening, the reason why Rick is saying I had to get back into gear is because I had an accident and I couldn't walk for a year and a half. So that was fun. So getting
Do you
back
miss your little
gear,
cart?
Yes, my little cart.
Little cart you drove around on. You came to the awards in your little cart and you had it all around the office.
I know. It was like coming in hot. It was hilarious.
Yeah, so picture that. You had to go to all your appointments and everything on a little cart because you couldn't walk because what did you do? You fractured your foot somehow.
I had a full thickness tear of my Achilles tendon and
That's what
operations.
It was.
Yeah, with that. So when I conducted a showing or anything, I needed another agent to come with me to aid me in conducting the showing. So it was rather challenging, but we were able to still get business done.
Right.
Yeah.
And now that you're back and you're mobile and you're rocking and you're rolling, all those activities that you're doing, you're cashing in on it. It's definitely a lot easier when you can walk around and do it yourself.
Most definitely. And so this year, I've really, last year I started really focusing back on my sphere, and this year the majority of my business has been all referral business. Just
right.
Focusing on my sphere. I still, prospect and to do more business, but so much is just referral from really keeping in contact with those people.
Right. Great. So how do you do that? How do you maintain that sphere? And you also mentioned building it. But give us an idea of how you got that up to the way it is now.
So building it, well, since being a former performer on the Strip here, years ago, I know like half of Las Vegas, but they didn't know me in this respect. And as we all know, everyone knows a realtor. So I needed to get back in touch with everyone that I really hadn't seen for many years and get in front of them slowly but surely and build that confidence in what I'm currently doing. And then with the open houses, gaining new potential clients, putting them in the CRM, getting them to see my face and to hear my voice and contacts and by a phone and also text and just keep that momentum going in terms of being in front of them. That's really the key. And so it's taken a little bit of time to really build that sphere, but it's just it's still in the process of building. Of course, I will always continue to build it and increase upon it, but that's what it's taken to get me where I am now. It's just really getting new clients, people that are interested in the industry, you're interested in buying or selling or potentially down the road, and keeping in contact with those people along with the current people that I know in my sphere, and then also past clients as well, and keeping in contact with them, whether it be in CRM and over the phone, meeting for a cup of coffee or lunch, some dinner on occasion. I have a past client that likes to invite me once a month, or at least once every other month, let's say that, over at their house for dinner and hang out. So that's really nice, really, really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and you your contacts are so different too, because your time on the Strip that's one group of people. And then you had your time at Johnson & Johnson, and that's a different group of people. And so meshing that all together and deciding, you know, but you have a decent amount of people that you can, just like I mean, whether you're, you know, a decent amount of people like you, or you have to manufacture it, it's important to develop that sphere and get organized about it, right?
Absolutely. You know, and just like everyone is different, you know, you need to pivot with each individual and how you approach them. But yes, that is it. You know, it's just you know, being able to take each group and mesh them together in a sense, you know, to have a consistent sphere.
Right. But you also like doing like you said, you mentioned the circle prospecting. So tell us, you know, and let's face it, because you know you've been around, you're a dynamite performer on the Strip. You know a lot of, you know, interesting people. Rumor has it that you've been seen doing, you know, carpool karaoke with some pretty famous people.
That's true.
Yes, you got to tell them. You got to tell. Do you mind telling that quick story when I was giving you a hard time about that?
Oh, with Gladys?
Yeah, with Gladys. Yeah. So tell them about you're driving along when you finally realize what you're doing with Gladys Knight.
Oh. Well, it's so funny. Well, I have a number of friends that are rather famous, and one of them, who's like family to me and been my mentor for a very, very long time, for more than half my life, referred me to Gladys Knight. And we were looking at properties, and Gladys likes to have a lot of fun. And we're driving around, and you know, this was and she actually lives like 5 minutes away from me. But we were driving around for a couple of days, and we'd always make sure the music's on. And she's singing, she'd sing, "Come on, Tim." And so we were singing together. And finally, we was at a stoplight. You know, and for me, people are, because I know so many different people, everybody's the same to me. You know, no one's different.
Right.
And we're all just people, you know. And but I geeked out a little bit at a stoplight, because all of a sudden I'm sitting there and it hits me. I'm in my car doing carpool karaoke with Gladys Knight.
It doesn't get much better.
I know, right? Oh, and that reminds me, you know, just because on the celebrity thing, it reminded me that when I first started in the industry, you know, the car magnet signs, I put mine on, and you know, a lot of my colleagues teased me about them, and I said, whatever, you know, I'm keeping mine on. And what the lead singer of the Killers' father called me to sell their home, to sell the lead singer's home. And so, you know, you never know if
right.
that's going to bring you business, but it certainly keeps your name out there even more. You know, and somebody could
right.
be sitting at a stoplight, see your sign, and say, you know what, I need a realtor, and write down your
right.
number and call you. And that's what
well,
happened
yeah,
to me.
and you should tell. Yeah, you should tell. Yeah, weren't you in like a Costco parking lot, and he noticed you and invited you over?
No,
you didn't even know where you were going at first, right?
It was that open house that the people came back to. I was at that property, securing it, and he noticed it across the way and invited me to come over.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
It was
That's
just
cool.
Interesting. So you never know.
That's cool. And then, but I think the message everybody should be hearing here is that you have some really cool friends, and you had an incredible career, 2 incredible careers, and then you get into real estate, which is also an incredible career, and you have some really high-end clients. You're also not afraid to mix it up at an open house, and like you said, personal touches like your big thing. And then you're doing circle prospecting too. So you really have to be good. You really got to have a lot of plates spinning in this business and show people that you're not afraid to be proactive and get out there and mix it up a little bit. That's the message I'm hearing.
100%. And, you know, you had mentioned that I have a lot of high-profile clients, however, and people actually ask me, what price point do you sell? I sell all price points.
Right.
And I and they asked me, do you just sell in Henderson? And no, actually, I sell all over the valley. And I like to underpromise and overdeliver for my clients every time. So
Right.
I really, and I do the best that I can for everyone. I treat everyone as if it were, a luxury client.
That's great. And that's exactly, it's a golden rule, right? When you apply the golden rule to your business, but let's face it, we're all supposed to do that. It's called a fiduciary responsibility, right? But not everybody does it in this business. And now that you've been in the business, Tim, 6.5 years, I'm sure you've seen the best and the worst of people when you're working with another agent on a transaction, right?
Oh, 100%. I always tease that I'd like to teach a communications class at the Association of Realtors. However, the people that I would want to attend probably wouldn't.
Right.
When I came into the industry from Johnson & Johnson, I had a very high expectation, and because that's what I was used to. And I came in and nobody would answer their phone, or they were rude, or they had anger management issues. It went on and on and on. So, it's interesting sometimes on the other side.
Oh, it really is. It's totally crazy. All right, so we're at that point. Give them your top three. Be successful in this business. What do you think the top three things they should focus on to be a success?
For me, it would be memorize the scripts, because they'll become a part of your normal conversation, and you will want to utilize that information in those scripts every time. They will help you so much, immensely. My second thing would be focus on the sphere. For me, sphere, open houses, just listed, just sold, circle prospecting. Get out and meet people consistently, add new people to your CRM database, and keep in touch over the phone and in person. Very, very important. And then number three would be consistent follow-up, because that's key.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%. Consistent follow-up, you can even bridge into semi-stalker lead follow-up, because that's what makes it work, I think.
Absolutely. It's when you think, well, I don't want to bother them, that you really need to call them.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? We think we don't want to bother, but at the same time, the people that are successful, the people that are good at their jobs, and so what they know, what you're doing, and they're like, okay, this person's, you even when someone gives you a little crap at first, if they're motivated and you keep following up, they usually end up respecting you and working with you because of it. Because you never know, like you said, never judge a book by its cover. You never know who you're talking to, and you also never know what's going on the minute you call somebody. Well, they were really mean to me and curt to me. Well, they probably shouldn't have picked up the phone at that point, but they did. I'll call you back later. Boom. And you're thinking, well, they don't like me. No, you got them at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm. You never know what's going on in someone else's life.
Right. So don't take it personally. But we can't help it. We think it's all about us. So they must be mean. They mustn't like me. And it really has nothing to do with that. I don't know about you, but I followed up after phone calls like that a day or two later, and they'll go, oh, Rick, I've been meaning to call you. I'm so sorry. You called me when my daughter, I was in, and right. And then they tell you what was going on. But the fact that you call them again, you usually win them more. When they're a little cranky and you call back and they are upset because they were cranky with you, you always end up working with them.
Oh, yeah. I always say to myself, it's not, whatever's going on with them is not about me.
Right.
And
exactly right.
And if they're projecting on me, it's like, did I do something? Yes, no. Okay. Well, it's not about me. And also other people's opinions of me are none of my business. So I just,
that's such a good one.
Want to live.
That's such a good one.
Yeah.
Well, like that wonderful coaching group you were on this morning with Stan Abrahams, and he was telling the story about that seller. Every now and then you have one of those where everything is wrong in my life because of you, but it's very rare.
Yeah, I had a couple of very interesting ones like that last year. So this year, at the beginning of this year, someone asked me to pick a word which I thought was interesting to define my coming year. And my word was boundaries.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
That
so
could
always
that woman. I know exactly who you're talking about. That crazy lady.
Yeah.
We could do a whole 30-minute call just about her.
I could do like hours on her. Yeah, for anyone listening, it was so crazy that I have probably over 150 pages of emails and 360 something pages of text messages.
Right.
It was crazy. Yeah.
Right.
I just had to keep breathing through the whole thing.
Yes. Yes. But all good education, and like you said, boundaries are important, and some people don't get it, and you need to lay the groundwork right away with some people.
100%.
This person, though, was just every now and then in your career, you're going to have one that's just so outside the realm of normal that you're covered for a while now, Tim. You know, you put your good guy, status at, up there, and I think you'll be fine for a while now. Karma says you won't have that for a while.
And I'd be very happy with that.
All right, Tim, any final words you want to leave these lovely people today?
Just, I'm grateful for your time, grateful for for you to listen to me, and I'm very grateful for this year, and what I just said is what has made me successful this year, and I'm excited to keep pushing forward. I hope you are too.
And we're grateful to have you speaking to us and be at our wonderful company, Berkshire Hathaway, my man. You're awesome, and it's a pleasure working with you. Keep it rolling, and we will pick this up soon. Talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Rick. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Tim. Bye, everybody.
All right,
Appreciate it.